As a child, Jeremy Carter was always into tech and software. There was never a time in his life where he didn't want to be on a computer. Unfortunately for Jeremy, his parents neglected and abused him for his interests due to how they promoted an anti-behavior, so his only opportunity to be around his passion was while his parents were away. When his parents found out, they permanently confiscated his devices and hid them in a hidden compartment in their room, and they plastered it shut to never be opened again. He was promptly beaten by his enraged father as punishment. Jeremy knew exactly where they hid it from eavesdropping upon his parents' conversations. One day, a 14-year-old Jeremy's parents were out. His mother was out shopping and his father was busy working in the office downtown. Jeremy seized the opportunity to scavenge his parents' room and search for the compartment. After minutes of searching, he noticed a part of the wall above his parents' bed with the paint looking suspiciously splotched. He carved a hole into the wall using a saw, and he was right. There was a compartment in the wall about 2 feet wide and about a foot deep. In the compartment were all his devices, his laptop, his headphones, all of his prized possessions were in there. With his head full of excitement, he hid all of his stuff back in his bedroom, and then plastered the sawed-off wall back on. It looked as if nobody laid a finger on the wall. After a few months, Jeremy saw the potential of the wall compartment and he decided he would use it as storage area to hide a makeshift router. A router would come with a lot of new accessibility on his computer. With lots of time spent by developing his makeshift router, he was finished and he put it in the compartment along with some spare cords and wires he found around the house, and he then sealed it back up. He was pleased with the results and he now had a flawless system to develop his coding abilities. With this new router system, he learned how to hack, and he learned how to gain accessibility to other household technology by connecting them to the router. He was even able to interact with the outside world via the internet. Things were looking up for Jeremy. Until one night, at about 3 in the morning, Jeremy suddenly awoke from a loud bang that came from his parents' room. He rushed in, and his parents were lying there, smothered under their bed frame. They had been crushed to death. Jeremy looked a little further up and noticed a gaping hole on the wall. For a few minutes of contemplating, he figured that a massive explosion came out of the wall, which was likely caused by his router overheating. The explosion caused his parents' bed frame to fall over and crush them both to death. Instead of being overwhelmed by grief or anger, he surprisingly felt an overwhelmingly urge to laugh. And laugh he did. In his mind, he was finally able to get back at his parents for robbing him of his passions and well-being for so long. With nobody knowing that his parents' deaths were his doing, he was sent to an orphanage uptown and remained there until he became an adult. The orphanage wasn't keen on technological interests either, so he was extremely eager to get back to it a week later. He also gained a hobby for crafting technology, and he thought it would coincide well with his new job. He loved his job at first, but his experience soared when his co-worker, Eddie, found out about his parents' deaths, and he was mocked by him for it. The audacity of the man fueled Jeremy with rage whenever he came in work. To cope, Jeremy started a side project to create night vision goggles at home. Even with this, the weeks grew miserable with constant annoyance and notifications from Eddie. But what Eddie did on one Friday evening plucked Jeremy's last straw. At the end of the day, when everyone was packing up to head home, Eddie happened to catch a glimpse of Jeremy's new goggles that he had worked on and were now finished. Without courtesy, he grabbed the goggles from out of Jeremy's bag and raised it into the air for everyone to see. "Look at this new little gadget Jeremy's made. It would be a shame if it were to break in the hands of some careless idiot." Eddie then released his hands from the goggles and they fell to the floor. "Oops," he said in an unflattering tone. Jeremy asked for Eddie to leave him alone in response, but Eddie retorted to that by shouting every last detail of Jeremy's childhood in front of everyone. Jeremy expected Eddie to be ridiculed by their fellow workers for what he did, but instead, every worker in the room started laughing in Jeremy's face. Jeremy stood there at a loss for words. The other workers, his boss, even the intern was laughing. The humiliation brought back memories of abuse and neglect from his parents. Jeremy grabbed a letter opener from the surface of his desk, and in a fit of rage, he swung his arm horizontally and sliced Eddie's neck open for the office to see. Panic filled the room, and everyone was fleeing to the exits, but Jeremy's desire for atonement had not yet been satisfied. Jeremy picked up his night vision goggles from off the ground and ran to the control room down the hall. With a few button presses here and there, he locked all of the exits to the building. Everyone was trapped in the facility with him. He hacked into the security system to see where everyone went into hiding. He cut the communication unit so nobody from the outside world could interfere. Jeremy flipped open the breaker panel and pulled the clunky lever in the center of the board. The building went pitch black, and the humming of the generators were silenced. Jeremy put on his night vision goggles, and with the letter opener in his hand, Jeremy had started his spree. Screams and gore filled the night, and bodies upon bodies fell to the cold ground of the facility. It was a night of torment, and a total of 11 lives were taken. As Jeremy was about to walk out of the main doors and escape the scene, a mysterious black fog descended upon the center, and Jeremy was swept away into the clutches of some being. That being told him to kill. Killer name, the Hacker. Killer radius, 32 meters. Killer height, average. Killer speed, 4.6 ms. Killer weapon, stylized letter opener. Unique traits, none. Power name, Saboteur's Revenge. All generators are replaced with computers which function practically identically. Any generator perk with a functional on a computer. Press the ability button to open your laptop. When on the laptop, you are shown the layout of the map from a bird's eye view. If the map has multiple floors, press the secondary ability button to toggle between floors. The following things will be shown to you on the layout: your location and the direction you are facing. All computers in their current progress, both exit gates and their progress, pallets which are marked in yellow, vaults which are marked in purple, dual totems which are marked in white, hex totems which are marked in orange, boon totems which are marked in light blue, hooks which are marked in red, and chests which are marked in green. Move the mouse/toggle, the directional stick, to move through the computers. Press the active ability button while a computer is selected to damage it, serving as a generator kick. Press and hold the ability button while on the laptop to leave. You gain the undetectable status effect while you are on your laptop. You are given 6 security cameras. When next to a wall, press and hold the active ability button to place one of the 6 security cameras on the wall. Press the secondary ability button while next to the security camera to take it off the wall. When on the laptop, the security cameras will also appear on the map layout, and they can be selected like a computer. When the security cameras are selected, you will see the map through the security camera's view. You can move the camera's perspective. When looking through a camera, it will be indicated to the survivor through a red beeping on the camera. When survivors are next to a camera, they can break it. When a camera is broken, it will instantly be given back to you. Cameras will break after a certain amount of time being placed. The camera's life can be seen while looking through a camera. If a camera dies, it will also instantly be given back to you. Press the active ability button while next to a computer to install a virus on it. The virus will go away after a period of time, but if a survivor interacts with the computer before the virus goes away, the survivor will scream revealing their location for a few seconds, and they will also be given a new status effect, the Mark status effect, for a short period of time. Mark status effect. When within a short distance of a survivor, their aura will be shown to you, and the aura will also be shown in the security camera's view. Only one camera can have a virus on it at any given time. If you install a virus onto a computer 3 times, blackout will begin. Blackout. The map goes nearly completely dark, and survivors can only see a few meters in front of themselves. You, however, will put on night vision goggles and are able to see in the dark. The night vision effect is also present on security cameras. While in blackout, you gain the undetectable status effect. Survivors can end blackout via pulling a lever. This lever's aura will be revealed to all survivors in white regardless of distance. The lever is invisible to you. Perks. Job to do. After 2 survivors are picked up, any survivor after can be held by the entity, allowing you to use your power while they are being carried. When the entity picks a survivor up, job to do will reset. The survivor will escape from the entity's grasp 50, 30, 10% faster than the normal pickup. Hex, technological fixation. When you damage a generator by any means, the next survivor who interacts with that generator will be cursed, and the random dual totem will turn into a hex. While the hex remains standing, that survivor will make any generator's progress go -1, -2, or -3% slowdown while repairing it. The hex effects persist until its hex totem is cleansed. Hex worse than new. If you break a drop pallet or breakable wall 5, 10, or 15 seconds after you damage a generator, any survivor who interacts with that generator 20 seconds after will be injured. If that survivor is already injured, they will be afflicted with the deep wound status effect. The hex effect persists until its hex totem is cleansed.